Oh my god, don't copyright me. I'm guessing there's no way that I can hide my screen, is there? I'm guessing there isn't. Okay, I'm live instantly. Awesome. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, for the Australian F4 Championship. And this is going to be quite an interesting round indeed. We've got all the cars here this weekend. As we speak, right up here in first qualifying session of the week. And for what will be a very interesting qualifying session indeed. Hello, absolutely everyone, and welcome in to the stream that we have going here this afternoon and of the Australian F4 Championship as well. I'm just going to check my audio. Yeah, I sound all good. But yeah, Australian F4 should be good, should be exciting. Should also be quite interesting as well as we get ready for this qualifying session to get underway. And for really the first time all year as well, we have a little bit of a different. I will be trying to commentate most of these Australian F4 races. The only reason why I'm actually only commentating this round is because of the fact that it's broadcasted by KO, and we all know what KO can do sometimes. They can be a little bit silly in their own right. So qualifying about to get underway here this afternoon. I'm not really sure how this is going to run, as I do have a laptop, so it should run KO and my stream fine, but we'll see. We will see indeed. But yeah, brand new setup, brand new everything. So everything absolutely brand spanking new, and this is going to make it very interesting indeed. Now, as far as I know, this series does not show any live timing and or it doesn't show any timings. So I'm not sure where everybody will be in this session. So bear with me as the cars make their way out on through towards the circuit now. And the first two rounds we've had in Winton. And Winton, we've also been racing at Sydney Motorsport Park as well. But now we come to the double header at the Bend Motorsport Park circuit for what will be one of two rounds here this weekend, and what should be a very exciting 2 rounds indeed. The cars have now made their way out onto circuit. There we take a look at William Beck, who has been already successful so far this year. Actually, I say successful. He's been on the podium so far this year. He will be, of course, hoping to try and replicate that in the best way possible. Now, with this new laptop, I can run quite a lot of things at one time. This is just hot. So, I mean, I say this laptop is just about hot to this point. So we'll see how that rolls. We'll see how it runs. But in the distant future, I'm hoping I can try and possibly have my screen sharing for you guys to get all of the timings for F1, all that sort of stuff up on screen for you guys so that you guys can watch along with me. That would be quite cool indeed. I would love to have that. Now, for some reason, my printer wouldn't work. So I've had to, I've gone to the good old second screen. My second screen here has got all of the notes for every driver whatsoever. So all my notes are there. My chat is live, literally right here. So I've got you guys up on screen, so I can see everybody's chats. I've got my speaker here, which is what I've been using the last year or so, year or two. Very helpful indeed. She's a big thing, let me tell you that much. Okay, so the cars have now made their way out onto circuit, and I will be looking over at this screen quite a lot for some of the driver and or car names coming into this round. That's the GP car 90. For some reason, it doesn't actually have it here on my screen. It doesn't have car 90. Why would that be? I have no idea. I have no idea. I'm sure I got all of everything I needed, but apparently I don't have all of the names. So that's a slight problem, a very slight problem indeed. But that's fine. That's fine. I didn't get all the names, but that's fine. That's perfectly fine here. But cars have now made their way out onto circuit, and I'll tell you this much. Coming on screen at the moment is Martin Dudley in the 31 bulk build car, the livery there for him. 2 parts to qualifying as well. If you're not sure how Australian F4 works, we have 2 parts to qualifying. Part 1 will just set the grid for race 1 and race 2, and qualifying 2 will set the grid for race 3 a bit later on. So that's how the format more or less works, and it should make it a very, very interesting round as well. There is Jamie Lee Sue, who sort of or more or less has been struggling a little bit in the last couple of rounds. His recent form not ideal as he locks up that left front a Hankook tyre, left front Hankook tyre there, slightly locking up for Jamie Lee Sue as he now moves out of the way for one of the Gen 1 cars that are definitely a couple of seconds a lap slower than what the Gen 2 cars are. So, of course, 2 classes in the AU4 Championship. We have the Gen 1 class concealing Louis Gotch, Kobe Wilson, Jackson Culver, Martin Dudley, Ruby Mangum, and Rixano Salvino. Apologies there. But Kobe Wilson on screen at the moment, looking to take pole in the Gen 1 class, like everybody will be looking to in this session, as now he makes his run up through towards the line. And now, and only now, must I say, the timing screen now updates, and Marco Manson at the moment at the top of the session in the 69 car over Jensen Merrill, Brock Burton, Diago Stewart in the 73 as well. They're sitting just a little bit off, but of course, nearly just over 15 to 20 cars on this grid here coming into this weekend. And now my timing screen decides to work. They finally decide to put a timing screen up, so that's handy. That's definitely handy. Marco Manson at the moment at the top of the session there as Jensen Merrill improves his lap time and drops that margin down to 0.3 of a second here. So making them up through towards now turn number 10. The drivers go. There on screen at the moment is the 28 of William Beck, who's just popped himself up in a second position and puts him 1/10 off Marco Manson, as I think we might get a replay in just a few moments' time of something that's possibly happened out there on circuit. But there, look, on screen at the moment, Marco Manson making his run up through towards the top part of the circuit. Of course, this weekend for the Bend Championship, we are using the Western layout of this circuit. So bringing a little bit more action to the racing here this weekend. As here we take a look at the 40 of Lana Flack, making a run up through towards the top section of circuit. You can see the car sliding over the hill as it tries to grip itself up as these Hankooks get better and better throughout the session goes on. You can see she's struggling for front end rotation. You can see the car had to turn it 2 or 3 times just to get the car turned in and into the apex as well. So that car definitely struggled for a bit of rotation there. As we take a look here at Diago Stewart under brakes in through towards turn number 1. As we ride a black of the DSR 73 car, being Diago Stewart, currently limiting 4th in the overall standings of positions at the moment. Now, runs up towards first and next couple of corners. And once more under brakes, you can see the car bouncing on the bumps on the way down there as it tries to more or less grip through the corner and through and out through towards the other side. Now goes Diago Stewart. This session, very important for some of these drivers. He makes his way over the ripple strip, bouncing over the ripple strip more or less. And once more hitting the brakes up through towards turn number 9. Very tricky corner in itself. Of course, turn 9 very much off camber compared to any other corner you would see on the circuit. Now through towards turn 10. Out the other side and right up through towards the line. You can see slipstream a big factor. Will be a big factor in this section as well. So keep an eye out for that one as there once more under brakes. Goes the cars and through towards turn number 1. Some of the first track action out today, so track's still quite green. You can see the dust off to the left-hand side as it continues to wash away a little bit. And then yet once more, trying to find grip of some of these drivers, especially off that racing line. Here in Gen 1 class, currently the fastest car out on the circuit, the 31 of Marcus Dudley on 118.3100. There, the fastest car. Currently out on circuit for the moment. And that should make this session a very, very interesting one indeed. Now through towards the next couple of corners. 118 point. That margin now dropped. It's 117.877 now for the current pole sitting driver. 117.777. Cody Major saying in the chat, who's your favourite F3, F2, and F1 driver? F3 has to be Freddie Slater. F2, oh, that is a good question. I'm going to have to go Leonardo Fornaroli, especially for F2. I don't mind a bit of Leo. And then F1, Oscar Piastri. Now, I'm going to say that because I'm an Aussie and I don't want to upset any Aussie fans. So I'm going to have to go that. But yeah, definitely those three options would be my top for F3, F2, and F1 favorites there. Yeah, I will have a couple of videos coming out on the last few rounds from F1, and they'll be out within the next couple of days or so. But yeah, should be good. Should be good if we continue on with this qualifying session here for the Australian F4 Championship. Now through towards here we look at the 69 car. That is Marco Manson up through towards the top of the circuit now, and now breaking down through towards turn number 9. More or less off camber hairpin. It's very difficult to try and get the car into the apex. All it wants to do is almost fall away from you. Now through towards turn 10, the driver's going. Babbage Hockey as he makes his run up towards turn 10 now. The AU4, more or less one of the main events here at the Ben Motorsport Park. So take a look at now the 28 of William Beck, the AGI Sport car making its run up through. Why did you say the N word? I did not say the N word, Hamas. I did not. What? I did not. I did not. That is. What's that allocation to make against me? Wow. Through towards the top part of the circuit now goes William Beck. See the cars now as they start to file in their lap times. This is the 66 car. Marco Manson. Welcome in, Callan. Checkered flag drops, and we now do have Jensen Marold on pole position. 109.761 time to beat here in qualifying one. At the end of this session, very nicely done for the Australian F4 cars, 109.794. Now puts Jamie Lee Sue second in this session. Very nicely done. The cars now file their way through and over the timing being once more. And qualifying one complete, of course. Qualifying one there set the grid for race one and race two. First fastest lap time set the grid for race one. Your second fastest lap time set the grid for race two. And Marold Manson's lap time actually. His second fastest is going to put him fourth in race two. Qualifying two will, of course, set the grid for race number three a bit later on in the day. The AU4 Championship putting on a show here this afternoon. Qualifying two just moments away. So, Jensen Marold on pole position. William Beck, Marco Manson. Apologies. He's third on the grid. Thiago Stewart, Brock Burton, Luca Cosolo, Xavier Hockey, Xavier Babbage Hockey, Lana Flack, Angus Bales, Anton Du in position 10, 2.4 seconds off the pace in that Tim Macro racing car. There are actually a few AGI Sport cars, a few Tim Macro cars, of course, on the grid here this afternoon. And that should make it very interesting for some of the action that we will see in the racing a bit later on today. Flying through the grid, there was Scott Pole in the Gen 1 class, Gen 2 class, sorry. Jackson Culver, Kobe Wilson, Rickson Salvino, Jamie Lee Stu, Martin Culver, and then, of course, we do have Kobe Wilson and Luca, sorry, not Luca Casolo, Rickson Salvino lining up on the back row of the grid there. So the cars now get ready for Q2. Get off those older Hankook tires and get onto a brand spanking new set of fresh, slick Hankook rubber to once more be applied onto the circuit, making the track that bit more grippy for the second class of qualifying this afternoon. So we continue to race at the Ben Motorsport Park, the AU4 Championship continuing. drivers now onto brand new boots and now out for the second part of qualifying here this afternoon. And this will set the grid for race number 3 of the weekend here today. Now we take a look at Anton Du making his run up through towards the top part of the circuit. There, the number 6 car. Kobe Wilson making his round to the circuit there. Jackson Culper as well. You can see the green flag there waving at the top part of the circuit. Of course, it's just over a minute lap time, so I think we should be able to see 30-minute plus one lap race. I reckon probably about 25, 26 laps come race time here this afternoon. Motorsport Park, very iconic circuit this one. GT World Challenge Australia racing here. We've had GT World Challenge Australia racing here the last couple of weeks, and absolutely amazing action there. GT World Challenge Australia, the main action this weekend as well. The last action, the last streaming I'll be doing for probably the next 3 weeks. There's no F1, no Fred, no Italian F4. There's no. They won't be Australian F4 for another month after this. So GT World Challenge Australia, the main subject here coming into this weekend is now out onto circuit goes the 6 car Kobe Williams. Hello? Hello? I'm not muted. I think there's something wrong with your side. I that is so that is so strange. Wait, that is wait, I, I can hear it through I can't hear it through my stream. I can't hear the world feed through my stream. Yeah, I can hear it through here. I can hear it, but you guys can't hear it. Can you hear me, Count? That is so strange. What? I, that is so weird. That's never happened. That is so weird. What? That's never happened. That has never happened. And it should just work. I think. You would think it would just work. But that is so weird. That is so weird. You guys can hear me, but you can't hear the well feed. I'm gonna have to fix that. And it's so weird. Do I have to like play the audio through like that certain tab? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But that is so weird. That is so weird. Um, for this session, just under a minute to go. Here's Marco Manson now making his way up through towards the line. Being the fact that you guys can't hear the world feed, I'm just going to have to do the commentary myself, which is quite annoying. Quite annoying indeed. But you get that. You get that. There, as the cars make their way up through towards the line, just under a minute to go in this session. It's so strange. I'm not sure if it's coming through the speaker. Oh my god, that is so weird. That is so weird. I don't think that's ever happened before, like ever. It was working at the start of the stream. I can't working at the start of the stream. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it wasn't working. That is so weird. It was working at the start of the stream. 117.4090 there. Car 31 on pole position. Marcus Dudley bags pole at the end of qualifying here for the Australian F4 Championship. I'm certainly not muted, so I don't know where Callan's getting that theory from. But that is so weird. I don't like if my microphone is connected to the laptop that I'm using. You would think that being connected to Bluetooth that it just no. You'd just be able to hear it through the speaker. That's what I thought, but apparently not. Apparently, it's just not that simple. Apparently, it's just not that simple. Apparently it isn't. I I can hear it fine. The stream can't. That is so weird. That has never happened to me before. I suppose I'm gonna have to figure out a way to make that work, but we'll see. Jensen Mallard now on pole position over Marco Manson, William Beck, Diago Stewart, Brock Burton, Angus Bales, Luca Consolo, Xavier Hockey, Xavier Pavage Hockey, then it is Lana Flack, Anton Du in position 10 in the 88 car. But overall, there, very nicely done and very nicely done indeed. Now we will turn the page. It's Lewis Scotch over Jamie Lee Sue, Kopi Wilson, Jackson Culver, Rexon Salvino, Martin Dudley, Rob Gimangan in position 17 and just over 7 seconds off the pace there. So, what a session that was. And for some reason, I was muted through that whole entire World Feed segment. That is so strange. That has never happened to me before, and I'm probably gonna have to figure that out before my next stream. That is so weird. That is so weird. I can't see why it wouldn't work. I'm gonna have to test that. Anyways, race number 2 will be getting underway. If I check here, it should be getting underway at approximately race 1, just over 50 minutes time for race number 1 of the Australian F4 Championship. But yeah, hope you guys all did enjoy that one. As you could probably see, I am testing out a lot of new things. So at the moment, it's a bit of a trial and errors to see if things work or not. I'm going to have to fix a few things. So I'll be back in just over probably an hour's time for the next Australian F4 stream, and that will be for race number 1 of the day. Catch you then. Bye-bye.